Hey everybody, it is your girl, Miss Motivational Mobile Mindset, Ava Cherie, the Inspire. And I wanted to come in person on video and share a revelation that I got. I have been fasting since June 1st. And something came to me very profound. And it was a series of things that unfolded to give me clarity. I had a lot of conversations with different people who have adult children or young children or whatever. I want to talk about responsibility as parents, as teachers, as leaders, as caretakers or whatever. A lot of times I'm involved in conversations and God has shown me that because of the way the world is, because of the lack of compassion for one another in families, friendships, and whatever, because of the overwhelming attention to social media and all of that, because social media is raising a lot of these Gen Zs and everything, we don't have interpersonal skills. We don't have social skills. We don't value the power and the strength in relationships. We don't cultivate them. We don't develop them. And so what came across to me in fasting yesterday, clear as day, I can hear it. My attention was to be focused on it and I received it. And it applies to me first, my family, filtering out. And a lot of times there's a rift in relationships in the family and otherwise because we stand on what we're stern on, right? We stand on it. We're like, this is happening because of this, and I'm not going to budge, and you're going to see things my way, and you're going to do things my way. I'm the parent, I'm the grandparent, I'm the uncle, the father, the adult, right? And we're telling this to the younger generations that come behind us. And what I think the biggest rift and disappointment is what we haven't yielded to was, how did we teach them? What did they learn from our verbal and nonverbal cues? What did they learn in that atmosphere, right? So I'm going to give you an example. Let's take an absent parent, right? The absent parent comes around finally when the person's an adult and they're saying, well, my phone number works. Communication goes both ways, right? And you stand on that. We're the senior, we're the elder, we're the older one, we're the servant, we're the teacher, right? We're the leader. But then one, you've been absent. And two, you chose that because as the person that we brought into this world, or we had to give care to, or they had to learn from us, that we set the trend in the atmosphere and we set the precedence in their life. They learned in their environment how to not love, how to not respect, how to expect people not to reach out to them because their own core people that brought them here, the family that they call family because of bloodline, ignores them. We set the precedence. They didn't choose who we got in bed with, who we procreated with. They didn't choose that for us. They didn't choose as a result of who we procreated with, who was going to be their grandparents, their aunties, their uncles, their cousins. They didn't ask for none of that. And so how dare we think that we can just throw that in their face when they're saying, oh, you're grown now. Oh, I don't have to reach out to you because you should be reaching out to me. How dare we when we set the blueprint for how to do that? How dare we when that's what they were taught? Whether you verbally did it or non-verbally did it, being present is an action. So if you was present with no action, then why are you expecting something more from them than what you taught them? But they have a choice to choose that for their children. But we have to hope and pray that that's what they choose to do. They can make the same excuses that you've made, that they've been taught to make from generations prior to them. So I want us to take a look at the generations that were before us. All of us people that have been blessed, because being a parent, being a caretaker is a blessing, a tremendous blessing, no matter how many children you have. But take a look at that responsibility that God entrusted in you and go back generations and see how many broken relationships was prior to you, because then that'll show you that what you're telling your own children is bogus. So it's not just about breaking generational curses, but it's just about standing in, observing the cycles that have been non-productive. And then look at how long you've carried that torch of misinformation, how long you've confirmed in your spirit and your heart that this is right, when none of the previous things that you could reflect back on has any evidence of healthy relationships, has any evidence of any good outcomes. And sometimes in present day, they're still the same. Everybody has an excuse why they don't do what they do with somebody, why they don't call somebody, why they don't fool with somebody. Because that's what you've been taught to do for generations and generations before you. And now what you've taught the one that you brought into the world is they have now incorporated that into their lifestyle. And prayerfully they won't, but typically they're going to teach their children that, whether it's verbal or nonverbal. They pick up on cues in the environment. They pick up on how easy it is for someone to be ignored and abandoned and rejected and neglected. They pick up on it because there's no solid, full relationships in place. I'm not saying somebody needs to be in somebody's face in business all of the time. Absolutely not. But what I am saying is, what you command on somebody else, did you make the demand prior to that to teach you how to be a better person to the people you're making commands on? You know what I'm saying? So God revealed that to me, and that's just what I want to say. Stop making excuses and scapegoats as to why you're not calling, why you're not reaching out to your loved ones, why you ain't fooling with somebody because they ain't fooling with you, but you don't realize that you were part of the reason that they have learned as their teacher. They have learned from you how to do that really well, how to ignore family, how to ignore friends, how to ignore people that's supposed to be special to you, because now you bank on them not calling so you can continue to carry that curse. Okay. You can say with one time out of a year that you reached out, but you was hoping that they ain't reach back out, because now that holds you liable and makes you aware of the fact that there was an initiative done to try to bring it together. But because you're stuck in that quicksand of repeated, recycled behavior, you didn't really want to call back anyway when you seen it. You was super busy. You ain't really want to go to that event for that family member because you're not even used to showing up. It's habitual behavior. So, but when you want to use that as an excuse, you go back in your archives and say, I ain't show up because they don't even call me. Why do they have to call you when you've shown them everything they need to know why they shouldn't fool with you? Why are we surprised? But you're commanding and demanding respect from this type of people. We've shown them how you're an afterthought. But if somebody asks you when the last time you talked to that person, or when the last time you reached out, when the last time you showed that person some love, the first thing as an elder, as the teacher, as the leader that you want to be respected for, you sound like a child because you're like, well, they ain't do it for me. That sounds a little bit kiddie to me. That sounds a little whack to me. You go tit for tat with somebody that you were supposed to lead and teach and that you wanted to respect for, and you wanted them to honor you, but you've taught them how to be petty. You've taught them how to ignore you. You've taught them how to not check on one another, not be your brothers and sisters' keeper. What do you expect in the environment that we set? I even look at myself. My kids didn't choose who I laid with. My kids didn't choose their parent to be a teen mom. They didn't choose that for me. So I don't give them excuses and passes. I teach them accountability and responsibility, keeping it 100 with themselves. But they didn't choose who I lay with, who was going to abandon them, who wasn't going to be a father for them. They didn't choose that. So if their father says to me, well, my phone goes both ways, my kids are grown, they should call me. My question to that father is, have you called them? Did they bring you into this world? Did you wear them out with making attempts at calling them? Did you teach them what a calling father sounds like on the other end of the phone? Did you teach them what that relationship dynamic feels like and how essential it is to their life? Then don't get jealous when there's super single moms around here, because we don't ask to be those things. Did you teach them how you would jump on a flight for them no matter where they are in the world? Did you teach them that you're not going to leave it up to somebody else to raise your kids? Then don't command and expect what you haven't taught them, because they're only doing what they learned and what they've seen from you. And that's any absent person in anyone's life. All right. This is your girl, Miss Motivational Mogul Mindset, Ava Cherie, the Inspired. And this is the unpopular opinion. All right. I talk to you later. Guys, love and God's peace to you all.